Hi, from Slide Nerd, this is Waves over here. In this video, which is our third video on GridView, I will continue about this app which we were making that shows different country flags. Now, in the last two videos, we have completed 6 steps where we had our base adapter here and we had put all the data inside some array list over here, and then now we are gonna go ahead and actually make the structure. In this video, let us start with step number 7, which says define the structure of a single block inside the grid view. So what do I mean by that? Here is a rough image of the grid view over here. This is how a grid view actually looks. What you have is some block over here that gets repeated along rows and columns. Now this block can be a simple item like a text view, or it can be a complex layout like a relative layout which has an image view, a text view, and some other views inside. So we are going to define the structure of this single block for our grid view inside a separate XML file. And why do we need to do that? So that we can use the same structure across the rows and columns but fill them with different data. So this is the app that we guys have been trying to make, which shows the different country flags. When you click on a flag, that flag appears inside the dialog box over here with the country name and the OK button. So now if you notice, our single block is actually this image, which is nothing but the image view which is being repeated across, right? Remember, the block is the same. What I mean to say is that the same image view is replicated everywhere, but what changes is the source of the image view, or the image of the image view, so that you see different flags over here. So let's actually construct the reference structure first. So here I'm going to go to the project part, res, layout, new, layout resource file. I'll keep the root element as a relative layout. I'll call this file as single underscore item.xml. Now we don't need to put the XML extension over there. Just click OK. So now, as you notice, the empty structure has been created. If you go to the text part, you will see the relative layout just the way we wanted. Now let's actually drag and put an image view inside. So I'm going to take the image view right at the center of this structure. Now I have added it, but you're not seeing anything over here. The reason is that image view has no source for the image defined. So for now, remember one thing: the source value for this image view will be filled in at runtime inside the getView method of our adapter. But for now, just to see how things look, let's use the source attribute and let's just give it some dummy image. So as you guys can see, the flag of India appears clearly on the center of the screen, just the way we wanted stuff. Now let's go back to our main activity. That actually completes our 7th step. Now the only thing that remains is that inside this getView method, what we are going to do is get this structure every time, which contains this complete relative layout with the image view, and fill in the appropriate source value for the image view so that the flag changes each time for different items in the grid view, because the getView method is called by the grid view each time an item needs to be displayed. That means first item needs to be displayed, getView is called, number 0 is passed over here. Second item, getView is called, number 1 is passed over here. So you're supposed to use this number, which is int I, and do something over here that will actually fill the data. So now let's actually complete the implementations of these methods. getCount method over here. The user expects to see the number of elements inside your array list or array that you have used with your adapter. In our case, we have used this array list, which is called list. So in the getCount method, I'm going to return the number of elements inside this list. The getItem method expects you to return the given item at position given by int I. For that, I can say something like this: list.get. So what this will do is take the position I over here, and then from our array list, it will give the object at that position. Get item ID. This is used mostly during database related apps. Here we simply need the identifier int I, which is used to identify our rows. In our case, if you remember, the rows are identified by 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those numbers, indices, and that is actually this int I itself. So I'm gonna go down return the int I itself over here. So at this point, we are basically done. So what I'm going to do inside the getView method, I'm gonna do a lot of things inside the getView method. But before I start doing anything, if you guys have seen my video about the view holder design pattern in Android, I've exactly shown you what needs to be done. Now remember, inside the getView, each time I'm going to get that image view and set its image right. That's all I need to do. But the idea of finding the image view every time is very expensive operation. So I'm gonna make a separate class that actually finds the image view only once. So I'm gonna say class view holder. This will contain the image view. At this point, it's not imported. Press Alt Enter. Now using this class, I'm just going to initialize this once. So I'm gonna make a constructor by saying view holder my country equals to, I need to call find view by ID so that I can initialize the image view. Now find view by ID relies on some view object over here. So I'm gonna say view v, and then I can say v dot find view by ID r dot id dot image view. Now at this point, if things are not so clear, don't worry. As we go further inside the getView method, you will exactly get why I have made this class called view holder, why I have this constructor, why I have passed this argument view v. Now on the other hand, if you guys have seen my previous videos about the list view, please go ahead and see them, because there I have discussed about these things again in detail. The view holder is a special topic which needs to be discussed at length. This video won't be enough to cover it in full detail. So at this point, I'm almost done. Now the only thing I need to do is actually override this getView method. So in the next video, I'm gonna work on this getView method and complete this project somewhat. In the meantime, if you guys like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel, comment, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a nice day.